Testing, testing. Mark, my microphone is not on. If everyone would please take their seats, we're going to get started. Testing, testing, testing. Now it's on. Thank you very much. If everyone, would you please get yourselves ready? We have people at home that are interested in knowing what we're doing tonight for Shabbat, which is a wonderful thing. Jeremy and Heather. Oh, wait, you can't because you're going to be leaving to help. Okay. Is there anyone that would like to come sit up here? You don't have to if you don't want to. Natalie and Bob, would you like to come sit up here? Okay. You know what? We just won't have anyone sit there. Do you want to do it, Sue? Well, that's what I'm saying. You need a partner. Diana, why don't you take off your coat and be up here? No? Fran and Ellen, you want to sit up there? So what? It's better than an empty chair, let me tell you. You look beautiful. Lynn, do you want to sit up there? Are you going to come up? Wait, Fran and Ellen, are you coming up? Wait, hold on. Fran and Ellen are coming up. There you go. First there was no one, and now there's a plethora. There's an abundance. I'm so happy. In honor of Paul, you are up here on the bima. Okay? And I'm going to say that. Okay. Are we ready? Focus. Get your mind and your spirit and your soul in the groove. We're so thrilled to have Bobby Smith back with us and everybody. We're so thrilled to have Erica and Brian here. And by the way, I have been in communication with your son. Are you aware that he is chanting Torah and San Diego wants me to do the verses for him? So he sends me Tetzave, he sends me the Torah portion for when he's doing it, and it's the entire Parsha. It's like 3 chapters. And I'm like, I don't think when you're doing 3 chapters of Torah, please talk to them. Where are you going? Is it Chabad? Like, I'll chant the whole thing if that's what you want. Thank you, Rabbi. I said, just go tell him you want to do 3 or 6 verses. And then he told me he's going to a Reform synagogue in San Diego, which is, by the way, one of the biggest ones. So it is a beautiful synagogue, yeah. It's a big one. Shabbat Shalom. Everybody here and in the cyberspace world, we're so thrilled to have you with us on this Shabbat. This is going to be a very interesting thing with my jacket and my tallis, but you know what? We're all here together to praise the Lord, to show up, to be present, and with our prayers to elevate the entire world. When we have a minyan of 10 or more and we count the women and we count the Torah scrolls, it is actually said that when we pray, we are doing our part to make the world a better place. And on this Shabbat, right before Purim, it's a wonderful thing. People have tried to annihilate us. They still are trying to get rid of us. We're like cockroaches. We just don't go away. But we are brilliant cockroaches. We are very illuminating cockroaches. We are those like incandescent, colorful beetles that Tony sent to us when he passed. Right, Diana? Brilliant with color and with vibrancy of life and soul. So, Hini Matov Umanayim Shevrachim Gam Yachad. Our blessed congregant Paul Cohen was laid to rest this past week and interred. We have Fran and Alan Ravine on the bima in honor of Paul. Thank you so much for being here. And it's a wonderful thing. We actually sang Hini Matov, I think, at the beginning of the service because he loved music and he loved Judaism and he loved all of us being together. So please sing it. If you need it in your books, especially at home, it's page 128. Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine Matov sheverachim gam yachad. Hine Matov sheverachim gam yachad. Let's hear your spirit. Hine Matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine as we were doing that prayer, I'm up here, I'm praying. It may just seem like I'm just having a party, but I'm actually praying, and I'm having a party that is dedicated to God. But I get messages sometimes when I'm up here. And I got a message, oh, you should have Heather, who is preparing to be a cantorial soloist. And Jeremy, I don't know, he may be on the path to becoming a rabbi, but at least, or a rebbitzin or something, I don't know what's up with him. The destiny will be unfolding as we all move on together. But I got this message, Heather should do bim bam for Shabbat, because she keeps sending me these videos of her, is it a parakeet? A cockatoo that rocks out to Bim Bam and Shalom Aleichem. So Saturday morning service, next Saturday, 10:30, be here. Heather, you are going to be singing Bim Bam. I don't know if you want to bring the bird. I'm good with that. Let's bring her. What do you guys think? Bring the cockatoo. It's not the pet bouncing weekend, but that's coming. I say bring her. She rocks out better than a lot of us. It's so cool. She sends it to me. You're bringing her. Okay, both of you. Okay, so that being said, see, like I have no ego. I share the glory. Okay, for God, and as we get our praise on. So page 142, Shalom Aleichem, unlike many others. Okay, may God give me the strength. Page 142. As we welcome in the Sabbath angels. And by the way, my husband, who is always looking for new things to teach you on Tuesdays, very many people enjoyed the Golem, which I did not want you to study, but I did light candles for our protection while you were going into the negative realm. But he is going to go for the angels later on down the line, because he's found some other things that he wants to teach you before. And I have been trying to keep Pirkei Avot for myself, but he's been so desperate for years to teach it, so have at it, because we are going to be busy with our Hebrew and our meditations and our upcoming B'nai Mitzvah class. That's where we're headed. Bar mitzvah, conversion. We'll make a new category for you, Sandra. I think you've been 3 things if you want to do something else. And may I announce it? Yes. Woo! So, when I discuss things up here, amidst the light of the Lord, Mark and Sandra Reichert were sitting over here. You don't know what could happen when you sit over here. Mark and Sandra were sitting over here. And I have been after Mark Reichert, right, to have like his second bar mitzvah. So guess what? In 2024, we're all going to be healthy and well. Maybe God's will. Mark Reichert is going to have his 90th birthday. And we are going to have a big hoo-ha party. And he is going to be up here having his second bar mitzvah with his temple family. Woo! I didn't know it was a secret. I asked you first. No, people need to save the date and prepare. What is it, March 30th? Saturday, March 30th, 2024. Those of you here and those of you out there in the cyberspace world, write it down. It's going to be spectacular. It's actually on his birthday. You see, it is B'Sher. So, he had been resisting, but because it is B'Sher, being the good Jew that he is going ahead with it. So Shalom Aleichem, thank you to the angels that watch over us. Thank you to the angels that I sent to Stacy to get her here through the traffic from Cedar Sinai. Thank you to the angels that surround us and protect us and keep us moving forward. Thank you to the angels when we are in a space of darkness and challenge and obstacle that help guide us, surround us, envelop us, and lift us up so that we can go forward with the Shekhinah. Shalom Aleichem, page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, B'melech Malachei Halachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lochem Hashalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, B'melech Malachei Halachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu if you'll turn back to page 138, we have Lecha Dodi. Judy is coming in at the right time. Had it been verse 9, we would have all thought she was the Sabbath bride. Welcome, Shabbat Shalom, verses 1, 5, and 9. For 9, we're going to rise, turn around, and face the door. Lecha Dodi. Lecha, Lecha Dodi. Likra, Likra, Kala. Tanei, Tanei, Shabbat, Nekala. Lecha, Lecha Dodi. Lekra, Lekra, Kala. Tanei, Tanei, Shabbat, Nekala. La, 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 Lecha Dodi. Likra, Likra, Kala. Tanei, Tanei, Shabbat, Nekala. Lecha, Lecha Dodi. Likra, Likra, Kala. Tanei, Tanei, Shabbat, Nekala. Shamor v'zachor v'riborachan, Hishriyan el ha'echad, Adonai echad, Shema echad, Lechem l'tiferet v'lidehi la 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 Dodi, Likra Likra Kala, Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala, Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likra Likra Kala, Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala. Verse 5. Hitoreri, Hitoreri, Kiva Orek Vini Ori, Ori Ori Shidaberi, Kevod Adonai Alai La 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 Dodi, Likra Likra Kala, Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala. Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likra Likra Kala, Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala. Verse 9. V'wi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha v'sohala, Tov habanei am sedula, V'wi chala, V'wi chala. Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likra Likra Kala, Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala. Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likra Likra Kala, Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala. Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala. Tanei Tanei Shabbat Nekala. Woo! Please be seated. Whew. So now, if you will look at the bottom of page 140, let us read a psalm, a song for Shabbat. Bottom of page 140. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, for your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds. Adonai, I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know. A fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they shall still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Adonai is our rock and our redeemer. Something as we remember on Shabbat Zachor, that Purim is right around the corner. Those that wish to annihilate us and destroy us, they do not win. For last Shabbat, on Saturday, I sent you all an email. What was it? It was the Shabbos of hate that the anti-Semitic people had designated as a day for mischief. Well, guess what happened? Who remembers the big storm we had on Saturday? And the heavens will declare God's glory. So I don't know if that's why things were somewhat calm, but we are grateful to God, Baruch Hashem, and we are grateful to the faith that we remain to uphold, and the fact that we have survived yet another day to be here and to praise the Lord, and to do God's work, and to be the best that we can be. So now, if you'll turn to the Hatzi Kaddish that we have on page 144. Yikadal, Yikadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'almad yivarach yiratei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yom echon v'chayechon beit Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, V'zman Karev Yimeru Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Lo Me'amaya Yivarach V'yishtabach V'yipar V'yikramon V'yinaseh V'yihadar V'yiraleh V'yihalal Shemei D'Kudashah Rehu Le'elam Min Kol Berchata V'shirata Tishbechata V'nechemata Davihiram De'alma V'yimeru Amen. Please rise for the Baruch Hu. Yeah, la 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 la. I don't hear you. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, 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 la 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 la. Yeah, 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 la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai. Please be seated. We're sorry to not have Marianne and Hilda with us, our harp and our violin, but we have Dan and Stacy and Amy, and I can actually hear the uke over here. So thank you for what you bring to the party that we have for God. So, bottom of page 149, let us read together. This is an hour of change, and within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? What lies before us? Do any of us know? That's the great mystery and joy that we have to behold. We might have apprehension, we might have doubt, and sometimes we might have fear, but every day is an opportunity for a new thing to unfold and the magical mystery tour of our lives. So we thank God for the evening and the day, for us being able to go to sleep at night, and yes, wake up for yet another opportunity to grow, to share, and to serve. If you'll look on page 148, we have our evening prayer, our Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro Ma'ariv Aravim, bechokhma poteach she'arim, uvivuna meshaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borayom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom, umevin layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai Sevaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leilam Va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. And before you start, as we gaze upon those Hebrew letters and we recognize that they have some power, if you begin, and I know many of you have RSVP'd to me, the Hebrew meditation class, and to beginning to recognize the letters and sound them out so that we can actually read these prayers in Hebrew, If you want to know what it means, you can look at the transliteration down below, or side by side, but actually the translation. But this time, we are doing it differently because we can actually be in person. You will be getting a set of flashcards. Our teachers are laughing. But they are colorful, they have a colorful trim. They have the letters in black on a white background so that you can focus and meditate. And we will be meditating on these letters. And we will draw the power of their energy into our being. We will sing the alphabet song. We will do the letters with the vowels before we ever get to this book. Some of you may remember this book. It goes out of order, which has always been kind of a bit of an aggravation. And the reason for that is it wants to help prepare you for reading prayers. So before we move into this book and on our path towards B'nai Mitzvah or confirmation, or just for the sake learning, just for the sake of learning itself, is the highest thing we can do. And meditation, especially meditation on the Hebrew letters, because it is said that the world was created by the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet. When we do this, we challenge our mind, we push off dementia or Alzheimer's, and we focus on how the world was created. So when you look at this Hebrew, no, it doesn't matter if you don't know what it actually says or the transliteration. If you just focus on the prayer when we're doing the Hebrew and you look at it, you will be channeling God, and your soul will know. That being said, we are now going to sing about God's love for us and our love for God with Ahavat Olam. Page 150. And in a couple of weeks, Heather will be singing this for you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Ahavat Olam, Beit ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. I'm looking at all of you, and you're all singing your hearts out, singing with great praise to God and your soul and your spirit. And I was up here and I was thinking to myself, I remember when I first left LA and came to the South Bay, and I was told, those people don't sing. And you guys, you sing everything. You sing the cantor part, you sing the congregational part. But you do it with such grace, and you do it with such excellent phrasing. So Heather, watch out, because they know how to sing it. And no, what I'm saying is it's great, because actually you guys know the inflection, you all are like right on it, and so I'm proud of you. So, that's the connection, the soul, the musicality of our prayers. And when you can actually look at the Hebrew and sing it from the Hebrew, I look sometimes, online, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking at the book, but the reason I'm looking at the book, I've been doing this for over 30 years. The reason I'm looking at the book, I want that power. I want the meditation. I want the connection as we sing the prayers. And it is different when you do it from the Hebrew and not from the transliteration. It's good to do it anywhere you can do it. But isn't that true, Wendy? There you go. Who's been in the class that can say it makes a difference? Raise your hand once you can look on that other side and get off the page. Yes, it does make a difference. So, you can always review. The Shema, we sing it over and over again. We sing it sometimes when we go to bed and when we wake up. We sing it at the bedside. We sing it when someone passes. Almost every convert is in love with the Shema and the Ve'ahavta. Almost every child that has bar bat mitzvah, sometimes the adult. Why? It is like a magical, mysterious thing. Why? Because this is where we bear witness to the oneness of God. So if you would like to stand for that or sit, please do. The Shema, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Sing it out! Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Please be seated. So I was here on Sunday, and the Torrance police came, and I was thanking them for watching over us and protecting us, and the church was here, and I could hear them singing all the way on the other side of the building. And I looked on the live stream, and there were like 3 people up here singing, and there was they've been hit by COVID too. They have a lot of people who would prefer to watch at home on our live stream that they use. And so they maybe had, I don't know, less people than we had here. But every single one of them singing at the top of their lungs. That's what we want to do. Not on a slow song, but on a fast song. Shout it out. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. It will free your spirit. And that being said, if you will look to page 154, when we talk about the Ve'ahavta and passing our love down from generation to generation, it is wonderful that Quinn Robinson, his parents are back here, one of the first that insisted that we have a B'nai Mitzvah school here, and a child shall lead them. Although I don't think he's ever really been a child, even when he was in preschool, but he's got a lot going on with him. But, he's down there doing his thing. Told me, texted me, said, I'm thinking about fasting on Monday. And I said, you're going to do the fast of Esther? I don't even think anybody knows that they have to do that unless they're traditional or something. And I said, well, it is a very cleansing and elevating thing to do. Just make sure you don't drink on Purim. Because it might be a good idea just to keep, and I won't, Rabbi, I promise. So my son texts me in the middle of who knows whatever he's doing, Mom, I'm evaluating my life. I think maybe I should become a rabbi. I'm like, okay, well, when you're manic, you're out there and you're the Messiah for the universe. So yeah, take your medicine, become a rabbi, and put your sister and me to shame. But we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what seeds we're planting. And we don't know what example we are leading. But we do know that when we show up and we have faith, we make a difference in our own lives and in the world around us. So, Ve'ahavta, page 154. Your kids are going to be going for it soon, too. I know it. Anyway. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha hayom ha'levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divartavam v'shitecha v'beitecha Uveleftecha v'nerech, uveshochbecha, uvekanecha, ukashartam le'od al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, v'ochtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tizkaruhu, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hiyatem kedoshim le'lohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzetiyechem Me'eretz Mitzrayim L'hiyot lachem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. So Marianne, our violinist, isn't here, but her daughter Sasha, she's the only one that was a child that got confirmed with us. She had her bat mitzvah, and then she was confirmed, and she had to learn a couple of Torah portions because she wanted to do it in the building when it was done, and it was delayed. And now, look, she's living in Israel and marrying an Israeli. And Stacy's children are very connected, and we want to get Raya in on the music, and Stacy as well. She'll be singing. And Amy, of course, is our president's daughter. Marianne will be the next president. And I'm so excited that Erica is going to be bringing her Jello shots tomorrow. I just cannot wait. Erica, we might have some that are in a different color that are not alcoholic for those that do not partake. We have not done that, but that might be a good thing. We don't want to leave anyone out of the shots and the fun. And so I had a dream. I had a dream last night, and I get worried about my dreams sometimes. And I woke up. I was thinking about Paul, who just passed. And I heard in my mind, you're not done, someone else is going to die. And I don't like to hear that stuff. And then I was talking to one of our congregants who lives in another state, and his mother, who's also a member, said she wanted to use a wheelchair. She didn't want to walk. And everybody says if you don't use it, you'll lose it, right? But I said to her, look, I'm sorry, if you're 95 and you don't feel like walking down to the room, tell them to bring it up if they're not going to give you the wheelchair. And I told that to her son. And it's a glorious thing when we can make it that long. And Marianne's mother, right when I had this thought, then I look at my text, and we're going to pray. I told her we're going to pray hard for her mother to have a refuah shlema. She, was sent home from the hospital, and, they don't know whether she's going to rally and live or whether she's going to need to move into hospice. We want to get her to 100 because she's very close. And she was going to pass maybe 12 years ago, and she didn't want to die without a Hebrew name, so we gave her a Hebrew name. We had a little party in the house, and she's been going strong for almost 15 years. I don't know, maybe we need to give her a Hebrew middle name. I told Marianne, I am on standby, I am on call, you call me, I'm just going to come. So we don't know what's going to happen in our lives, but it's important that we live life to the fullest. And I told this to somebody else, and they said, maybe it's Jimmy Carter. Maybe he's in trouble. And I'm like, what? He's not in my circle. So I just want to say, take care of yourselves. I will take care of myself. We're going to do the best we can. But as long as we keep our spirit in alignment with that which is true and that which is full of glory. When we remember, as we go to the Michamocha on page 157, we'll sing about when we stood on those shores and we had to make a decision. Do we let Pharaoh kill us in his chariots, or do we go forward into an unknown future? That's what we did. And guess what? That's what we're going to be celebrating and remembering, hate to say it, a month from now. Can you believe it's almost Passover? Okay, top of 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Micha Mocha, if you want to dance, dance. If you want to just shake your tushy in the pew, go ahead, do that. Micha Mocha, page 158. Oh, this is what the cockatoo like. That are not only musicians, but they are out there leading the way. So now we are going to turn to Vishamru on page 162. We are a people, let us read on 163, in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever, and what happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru. Come on, guys. Sing out. Vishamru, Bnei Yisrael. Shabbat, So I was thinking in this prayer as we are moving now, the Amidah on page 164, where we recite all of our ancestors, is thought to be a standing prayer, as is the Aleinu. So one Purim many years ago in the land of Redondo Beach, Shushan, there was a cantor who did the entire service backwards to the tunes of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and all these other little things. And she had quite a few Jell-O shots that Erica had made. But she was strong and she was good and she was not drunk. But she was doing it in the way that you might want to do. Whatever is forward is backwards, whatever is up is down. And so she laid down on the bima and recited a prayer. Sung the prayer, Dan was playing, or no, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it was too long ago, my disk space is not there. But anyway, a rumor had been spread. You should not do Lashon Hara, that is gossip. But a rumor had been spread in the religious school to my children that their mother was drunk on the bima, laying down and doing the prayers. So, I might get in trouble for saying this, but because we are on it about wanting people to RSVP on time. Marshall will probably be mad at me for saying this. You left the room, so I thought I could say it. If you did not RSVP for Purim, and you can see all this because we have a lot of food coming, if I have to go pick up a pizza myself, and you want to come, and you really want to celebrate, as I said, we will have non-alcoholic drinks and alcoholic drinks, and you are supposed to drink to the point that you don't know the difference between blessed be Mordechai and cursed be Haman. We can always call Uber. We do have a lounge in the back with very comfortable seating, thanks to Terry Schneier. So get out, enjoy. Yes, Richard. Yes. Marcia, do not be mad at me. How many people in this room or online, you can go ahead and email me. I will look on Shabbat because I'm extremely reformed. But how many did not RSVP that see this glorious stuff? I was going to have Heather put out all that liquor. We have all this fresh liquor. It puts our cabinet to shame. We need to throw the old stuff out. But did anyone else in here not RSVP that would like to come? Raise your hand. Okay, you guys. I think Marcia had you both down. Yeah. So let me know if you haven't. It is never too late. RSVP for Purim. Okay. So this year you do not have to wear a costume. But next year we will have been back, kind of easing ourselves into the groove. Next year, if you would like to wear a costume, you can wear a costume. And I bought my costume from the costume closet that didn't fit me, which I hope, as I have lost some weight, has to be taken in, which I will wear next year. So please rise for the Amidah on page 164 as we stand up and praise God. Adonai sefatai tifta ufia gitahilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu Vehimotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Elocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, U'mei Dila Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Meitim Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Marid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim berofei cholim. Umatir asirim. Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'akiburot. Umidom elah. Melech Memi, Umachaya, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atal ha'chayot ha'kol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha'metim, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, V'kadoshim b'chol yom, Yehalalucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el ha'kadosh. Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom. Our parsha is Tetzave, and in it we hear the command that is given to the sons of Yisrael and the daughters to use pure olive oil for the kindling of the lamps. Aaron shall set up this light to burn continuously in the sanctuary. It will serve as a light for God for all generations. The Ner Tamid, as Mark Reichert had made with Emet in Hebrew. Wouldn't it be great when you know that the Aleph and the Mem and the Tav are Emet, if you take the Hebrew class? That light is meant to burn and burned in the sanctuary morning and night. It was the brightest branch in the menorah. The entire menorah being made from one piece of gold to show that each branch is dependent on the other. It then goes on to describe in great deal about the garments of the priests, which I think if you do Torah study tomorrow with Mark, he will go into in greater depth. Those garments and the priests were sanctified in name and purpose. Aaron and his sons were dressed for the drama and the symbolism and the purpose and the ruach, the spirit that was necessary to represent God and the awesomeness of the holy sanctuary. The idea of dressing for success, how many have ever heard that saying, actually finds its origins in this Torah portion all those many years ago. However, there are many more layers to this parsha. The colors and the accoutrements align with the awesome power of God and the proclamation that the holy presence will always be with the Israelites. And yet the brightest light in this parsha can be found from the very beginning. You will command the children of Israel, and they shall take for you clear olive oil, crushed for illumination, to light a lamp, the menorah, continuously. As Kabbalist Rabbi Avraham Brandwein states, that crushing of the olive represents the concealment of God's supervision of his creation. We are his creation. He is Avinu Malkeinu, our father and king, or she, supervising us as a parent would. And the continual flame testifying that the Shekhinah, the divine feminist aspect of God, would always dwell in and surrounding Yisrael. The olive itself is bitter, representing the concealment of God's supervision of his creation. A person, therefore, may think that there's no law and no judge, and that there are actually two paths to straighten out this misunderstanding. One is called the path of suffering, heaven protect us, where through difficulties and pain, a person can improve his actions and thereby his life. The second is the path of Torah, our Torah, where through understanding and contemplation in the ways of God, one comes to see the goodness of divine providence. This lack of understanding is symbolized by that little olive, which is bitter, that can be crushed, smashed, and hit in order to release the light that is buried within. The crushing causes the illumination. There are times in our lives when we feel overwhelmed, as if our heart and our soul and our whole persona are being crushed physically, psychically, and emotionally. Have any of you ever experienced that? The Kabbalists believe that it is through suffering that we evolve. If we coasted along with no great obstacles to overcome, we would leave very little room for growth and the development of our soul. It's hard to think of that when we're in the middle of the darkness and the chaos. But when the going gets tough, just steel yourself and say, have at it, send it to me. I am not going to be given any more than I can actually handle, so like the olive, let me be crushed, so that then I will become illuminated. We are never really given more than we actually can really truly take. And it may not feel like that when we're there in that moment. And if you do have it where you just can't do it anymore, then say, God, I can't take anymore, please. I'm here, I'm doing the work, please. Back off a bit. Let me breathe, let me have a moment. But we have within these moments and the seasons in our lives our greatest opportunities. It's just our perspective about it that needs to change. We need to shift our consciousness to a place that can see and accept adversity as a very temporary thing designed to set us on our path toward that which is ultimately in our highest and our best good. And when we come out on the other side, we are stronger for what we have gone through. Have any of you lived long enough to get on the other side and see that? Raise your hand. We can have all the finery in the world in life, just like the Kohanim, the high priests, when they were all decked out. The bedazzled garments that they had, but the true color and the true brilliance is actually contained within them and us. How we respond to what life throws at us, how we choose to grow, and actually whether we are moving forward or back. When my children and I had a very difficult decision to make at a very challenging point in our lives, my 6-year-old daughter, who is now a rabbanit and a chaplain, said to me, Mom, well, at least we are moving forward. You are always moving us forward. Rabbi Brandwein goes on to state about the olive in this parsha, that it represents the suffering that precedes the path of Torah when a person comes into that state of being and illumination. From the crushing of the olive, that light is revealed, and then the person merits the ability to see all of the concealments were for the sake of good. All the struggling was for the sake of their growth and their higher good. And therefore it, the Ner Tamid, burned the entire night, for night represents concealment and darkness, which after that crushing becomes illuminated. This is why it is written, and they will take for you the nation of Yisrael together and unified, each of the other 6 menorah flames, each representing what is within us, what is inside of us, were angled toward the westernmost flame to indicate that all of the flames were equal and in harmony. Even though that one was so bright, all of the flames were equal in harmony. And this shows that each person is important in their own right. Although people's minds and personalities are extremely different, and we bump up against each other all the time, we need to remember that this unity testifies that the Almighty manifests His Shekhinah, the divine feminine aspect in Israel, surrounding Israel, that's with us all the time, that we pray to in the El Malei Rachamim prayer when we send our loved one's soul up to God, that the Shekhinah will lift them and carry them to their perfect place in the heavenly realm. The opening word of the Torah portion, this one, Tetzave, you shall command, is related to the Aramaic word for connection and to this actual unifying process. The pure oil which burned in the menorah represents Torah study. The entire menorah, its base, its branches, its flowers, its apples, were all, as I said, beaten from one piece of gold. Its base represents those who support and help a Torah scholar. It represents all those people that give money to support the temple and our programs and our budget and all of that stuff. The knobs are those who are busy with acts of kindness, those that do tikkun olam and good deeds, those of you that are bringing in towels and cans of food and all those things that we do to help others. The flowers are those who study Torah, those that you're constantly learning, those of you that are here today, Shabbat, in our classes, you are hearing about the Torah. And all of them are beaten from one piece of gold so that each one actually needs the other. So too, it is impossible for one person to be completely arrogant towards another because we need one another. Where there is unity, the menorah shines to illuminate the entire world. And we are the menorah. We are the Torah. It is all inside of us in our DNA. So as we progress through this Shabbat, let us remember that as bad as it can be, we are never given more than we can handle. Let us strive for unity and harmony for ourselves, for each other, for our loved ones, and our world, recognizing we are connected, recognizing that we need to depend on one another, lean on one another, lift each other up, and in so doing the world, let us accept the challenges that may come our way and work toward peace and understanding, acknowledging that when there is unity, the menorah shines to the entire world. And if we feel overwhelmed and it's just too much, just turn it over to God on a plate filled with promise and say, please take this for me. I'm willing to grow. I accept the unbearable weight that is crushing me. I want to be my best. I want to become illuminated, but please help me. I accept the path of suffering. I live the path of Torah. My faith is strong. I walk in the ways of Torah. I surrender and I submit to all that is meant for me and my highest and best good for the purpose of sharing. Let me be as strong as the menorah. Let me illumine the darkness with the light of my being. Let the Shekhinah, the divine presence, surround and be reflected within me. Like the olive, let me too be so crushed so that all can be revealed and I can walk upright with purpose, like the Kohanim, the high priests of old, knowing that within me is a bedazzled eternal flame, and that the 7-branch menorah with the ability to illumine my life and others is a part of the fabric of my very existence. May it be so. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom. So, that being said, Heather will be preparing some olives for us as we leave tonight. She and Jeremy have gotten a lot of olives from San Luis Obispo, and in anticipation of our big martini night tomorrow, whatever else we're doing, we will have these olives. There will be some that are just olives and some that might be in a little bit of a libation to just sort of whet your appetite before dinner or before tomorrow. But just know, as you look at that little olive, as it can be crushed, so too can it be illuminated, and so too can we. So now we are going to do the Misha Berach. We do want to send prayers of healing, as I said, to Marianne's family, most particularly her mom. And we have so many in our community, some who are in this room, page 371, some who are on the live stream, some who tell us what they're feeling and what they're going through, and some who are very private and keep it to themselves. So as we say our prayers, we say it for everybody, those that we know about, those that we don't know about, and those in the world that are suffering, that need a refuah shlema, a full and complete healing of body, mind, and spirit. See your loved ones in your mind's eye, lift them up. See the wings of the Shekhinah surrounding them and enveloping them as we pray for a refuah shlema, even for little babies that need it in the Feldman family. Mekor Avraham to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebera imotenu mechor habracha ve'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Please rise and turn to page 586 as we do the Aleinu, and the ark is open. (586) Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol. Bottom of the page. Latei gedola leyotzer bereshit. Shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot. Velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkeinu kahem. Vegor aleinu kechol hamona. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lefnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu notei shamayim ve'yosed haaretz u'Moshe v'yakaro b'shamayim v'ima'al v'shechinat uzo ve'govhei meromim Hu Eloheinu Enon Emet Malkeinu Efes Zulato Karkatu V'Torato Ve'adatahayom Ve'adatahayom V'Hashavota Elavavacha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim B'Shamayim V'Ima'al Ve'al Haaretz V'Tachat Enon V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz V'yom hahu Yehieh Adonai echad V'shemo echad. Please be seated. If you'll turn to page 598, we have our Mourner's Kaddish. I was so happy to see that I had given, I won't say the name, but you all, I had given one of our neighboring cemeteries all of the prayers that they could include in a Jewish service booklet for a funeral. And I don't know how they've existed as many years as they have without even the Mourner's Kaddish for someone to say. And I have been working with them for 8 or 9 months. And it finally came to fruition, and I think the very first time they did a printing of it was for Paul Cohen's service. Made a few tweaks, told them about that before they printed it, and I actually gave them some more after. But we are a people that always remembers those who have come before us, as we will at Purim, as we think of our whole lineage of people that have fought so hard to save us. But we do want to give a special mention to Paul Cohen and Kathy and the family, Mark and his wife Janice and the 7 grandchildren, like the 7-branched menorah, that they will have healing, and hopefully the community will gather around them and support them as they go forward. Kudos to Paul, who knew that, he had breakfast with me. Actually, we just had some donut holes. He wanted those donut holes. But as I said, he, at Denny's, he knew how important it was, and a couple of months ago maybe he had a premonition, but he said, I need you to be here for me and my family. It's very important. I don't know which direction his Parkinson's is going to go. But in the end, it was a heart issue that took him. So while we're thinking we've got, 10 or 15 years of something left, then all out of nowhere comes a heart attack and then heart surgery, and then all the organs start to fail. So we really don't know what's ahead. Sometimes we're spared and we get a lot of extra time, and sometimes we aren't. And that is what is in our highest and best good. So that is what we have to pray for whenever we ask God for anything. So at this time, if you've lost someone in the last week, would you please rise and say your loved one's name? Would you guys like to say for Paul? You want to rise and stand?
Paul Cohen.
You can say it too. Paul Cohen. Okay, so you guys can stay there. Anybody else have anyone in the last 7 days?
Lillian Thompson.
Stay standing if you can. And in the last 30 days of the Shloshim period, has anyone lost anyone? Please rise and say their name. The last 11 months, if you've lost someone, please say your loved one's names. Raise your hand if you're already standing. Diana. Amy. Bob. Sonny.
Shirley Tyler and my sister, Mariel Nachman.
Sandra.
Actually, Rothschild and her son died several days. He had a broken heart, and his name is Philip Rothschild.
Stay standing. And Natalie and Bob.
Cynthia called.
And Cynthia. Okay. And Dan. Anybody else? Okay, if you're observing a yard site, the anniversary of a loved one's death, at this time, please rise and say or raise your hand if you're already standing.
Ed Bernardo.
I know, and Ed and Paul are side by side in the wall together. They're going to play poker and all kinds of games in the heavenly realm. Bob.
Millie Lynette's our friend, and Sally was in my cousin.
Steve and Robin. Please stay standing. Anyone else? Okay, Marcus.
Yes, my mother, Hilda Reichert, and my grandfather, Philip Beagle.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll rise together and say the Kaddish on page 598. If you have names at home, please be sure to say them aloud. And when I raise my hand, you can say Amen, especially if you're at home and you don't have it in front of you, if you don't know it, and you get the merit of having said the whole text. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh l'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman karib imru. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam v'lomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal, shemei d'kudashah b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran ve'alama v'imru. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'imrumav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May God, who is the author of life and death, the creator of everything which we see and do not see, grant eternal rest and perfect peace to our loved ones in the heavenly realm, and peace to those that are suffering loss around the world, and peace to each and every one of us that may need that little bit of spiritual uplifting as together we say, Amen. Please be seated, and we will have some announcements from our president.
Shabbat Shalom. I have to catch my breath.
It's a lot to ascend to the mountain of the divine on that bema with all the lights and the Torah behind you. It is a glorious and awe-inspiring thing. Takes your breath away.
Welcome to all of you who are here in our building, those at home watching on live stream, and thank you to Mark Tannen for his work on the live stream. Thank you to our wonderful Rabbi Cantor for a beautiful service. And I'm thinking about those, those little thingies. Thank you to our talented music director, Dan Spector, and our musicians who are here tonight, Amy Wolf on baritone uke, and Stacy Robin on her wonderful percussion. Our next service is Saturday, March 11 at 10:30, and we're having lunch at the Lazy Dog Cafe after the service at about 12:30. So please let us know if you're going to be coming and joining us. I'm looking forward to Heather. It's going to be very exciting, especially with the little cockatoo. Can we dance with the cockatoo?
The cockatoo dances, let me tell you.
This thing, I've seen this video. This thing goes bounce, bounce, bounce.
And just so you know, the reason we're doing Lazy Dog, I know some of you don't like to park and walk. If you have a problem with that, tell me, I will drive you and I will drop you off in my car. It holds a lot of people. And pick you up right in front. But the reason we're doing Lazy Dog is I actually found out from Mayor Pat Fury, the prior mayor, from his wife. She had just been to Lazy Dog and they have a new system. They have a little electronic pad. Everybody can order as a group, but when it comes to your exact meal, it will calculate your tax and your tip and separate it out, and you can give them your credit card and nobody has to figure out splitting that bill. And they do
Nice.
the brunch menu, so we're gonna try that.
Okay, so hopefully you'll be with us next Saturday, especially if you want to see a cockatoo who dances. Not everybody has that. Okay, our third Friday service with catered dinner is March 17 at 5 o'clock, so watch your emails. We have to thank Marcia Crabtree. She's amazing.
Marshall, we might want to have corned beef and cabbage if we can find it somewhere. I think that's St. Patrick's Day. Wear green.
We'll see. Okay, the next lunch bunch will be Wednesday, March 15, and we're going to Good Stuff again because we really liked it in Palos Verdes at 11:45, so let me know if you'll be joining us. A flyer will be going out by email about our kosher Passover first night Seder on April 5 at 6 o'clock. Besides telling us who is coming and what they want for an entree, please tell us who you want to sit with, unless it doesn't matter, in which case say it doesn't matter. Because I'm the one who does the seating. And I tell you, this is a real difficult job. Not that I want sympathy. Well, actually, I do want a little sympathy. But in the meantime, while you're thinking about giving me sympathy, remember, the more I know about where you want to sit and who you want to sit with, the easier it will be me, putting all the tables together. So please let me know, okay? Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at our fabulous Purim celebration. And again, we have to thank Marcia Crabtree and Deborah Goldberg and Heather and Amy and all the people who were working so hard to put this together. Amy, you're doing the music, huh? Okay, that's going to be interesting.
Were you going to bring up Marcia to say some things about her program?
When I'm ready, Dee Dee.
You do that to me. I just see her over there, and I think that she was excited about sharing her things that you're mentioning on your own. It's a double portion of manna.
Okay, my turn again. Sort of. Please contact Rabbi Didi for information about, the Hebrew alphabet, the meditation, the letter connection, and all that other good stuff, because that's very important. And I have to turn the page, and turning pages is never easy for me. Somebody's going to have a page turn time. Okay, so March 16 from 6 to 7 is when we start, Dee Dee?
Yes,
And we're going to have you RSVP to Rabbi. And Torah study tomorrow, and this third Tuesday about the wise men of Chelm.
He's very excited.
He's very excited. And yes, Marcia's ready. She's here. She's waiting for me to call her up any second now. Monday's Eastern Meditation with Roger Peterson on Zoom, and Wednesday, March 29, right? 7:30 for Dan's music class on Zoom. Now, Marcia.
Okay, Marcia, let's all just give a rousing woohoo to Marcia. She is on it. We have so many programs. My daughter's like, when are you coming back to New Jersey? And I'm like, I can't stay more than 3 days. I'll fly one day, I'll come back another day. But do you see how much we're doing? Marcia will tell you how much we're doing. It's not just Shabbat here 3 times a month.
Okay. Okay, I was told I don't speak into the microphone well enough, so I'm going to try. Okay, first of all, I found this watch in the parking lot. It's plastic, rainbow colors. Anybody? I got the check for our fundraiser, the Norwex, $489.
That was a donation from everything that we bought, that Norwex and the representative made the donation to Temple.
Yes. And I want to say that the jazz and brunch that I had scheduled for March 12th is going to be postponed because the brunch isn't really very brunch-like. They don't have any breakfast items, so I'm looking for another venue. So to be determined. And the movie that is set to be released on March 17th, there still are no movie times. So that's still to be determined when we're going to go see that.
That was the one with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin again.
Moving on. Yes, the other movie that we were excited to see. So stand by. And as far as tomorrow, I received 3 really pretty Judaic etchings or mezzotints that I'd like you all to come and take a look at and bid on tomorrow night. One is called Baking Matzah, one is called Tashlik, and one is Mazel Tov, and it's a bar mitzvah boy.
So many of you remember Tashlik. What is that? We go after Rosh Hashanah, we go to the pier, and we cast our bread into the water and our sins, and the birds eat them. Okay.
I think everything else has been covered.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful to everything you're doing.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Marcia.
And it's because of Marcia that we are so busy.
Woohoo! We are back.
Yes, we are.
We never left.
Right. Okay. One more
Oh,
thing.
wait, Sunny has her hand raised.
Ah, Sonny.
I just wanted to know how we did on our food and cow drive.
I was about to discuss that when Diana finishes, so I do not interrupt her.
I'm going to be finished soon.
Okay.
Okay? Don't
We love
applaud.
that you're up here, Diana. Just that's what it's like up here. Everyone tells you what to do.
Don't applaud. We are going to be having a very special Friday night service on April 21. We are going to be awarding the 3rd annual President's Award to 5 of our volunteer members. Normally we would do this at the gala, but the gala has kind of disappeared.
It's kind of morphed into Purim.
Yeah,
a little bit.
and Sue, thank you so much for making up the difference for us on the gala. I'm going to announce the winners of the 5 awards in April. And you will have the opportunity to send congratulatory tributes, which will be printed in a special tribute folder. The people who get these awards are very, very special people. Everyone who's ever received one of the President's Awards has been a very special person.
Including my husband. He actually has it on his desk next to his computer, and he's like, oh, but yeah, he looks at it every day.
It is very special. So put it on your calendar. You don't want to miss April 21, and you'll be finding out who the winners are in April, and I hope you will congratulate them and send tributes to let them know how much we appreciate all that hard work of all those wonderful people. Did I miss anything?
That was great. You did a great job. Yasher Koach.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Because everybody's always ahead of us and telling us what to do, we actually got a thank you card in the mail today from Torrance Temporary Housing Village, offering safety, dignity, and services to the unhoused. And these are little tiny houses that there's approximately 40 people on the grounds of Torrance City Hall that are living in, the homeless. Yes. Okay, Diane's going to say more. And then I'm going to read you what they said.
So, of course, I forgot something. Temple Emet has purchased these flowers. They are going to Kathy Cohen.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
And they're being delivered by Fran and Al.
Excellent. I'm so glad you came back to say that.
I came back.
Thank you.
Now I'm really...
Thank you. That's wonderful. So, it says, I met with a lady last week. She picked them up, but you can still bring in more towels. We have a couple that came today. Dear Rabbi Didi, thank you so much for spearheading the towel donation effort at Temple Emet. Thank you to your congregants. Thank you to everyone who cares. The residents were thrilled to get brand new and colorful towels. See, I didn't tell you you could bring used ones. They were only like $6. We got more going on than that. They were thrilled to get the new ones. These contributions are so important because they also are a tangible expression of your support of their journey to end their homelessness. Thanks again, warmly, Nancy Wilcox. So thank you to all of you who brought them in, and my office is happy to be the repository of those towels. I do think, Pat, if you'd like to take the food, that would be great. We have more in my office. More people brought more food today, which is good.
Sunday, I'm gonna come and pick up the stuff. Brian's gonna help me.
That's fine.
I haven't talked to the pantry yet, but I know they're open, and so I'm gonna be taking it to.
Okay, so that's what you need to know, because Pat wanted you to know the towels are going to the tiny villages, and the people that are homeless that need it. The food is actually going to the pantry, so that it can feed. The tiny villages actually have food delivered to them. They have meals delivered to them. And so I think that I got something in the mail. I was going to bring it up at the board meeting about the firefighters have a spaghetti dinner, and they raised like over $200,000, and it's $10 a piece. So I'm kind of wondering, I want you all to think about it. Heather already volunteered to be on it. Wait. Yes, Sunny, tell us about it. Can we do it? We need to do it in our parking lot. So I want you all to think about that. Maybe we invite the whole neighborhood. Maybe I don't know, maybe we do a mitzvah and we invite the homeless. I don't know. Just, I want you to think about it. But if they can make spaghetti, we can make spaghetti, right? Okay. All right, are we ready to have a closing song and then have our olives and our whatever we're having? I'm so excited. Thank you to everyone who participated, to Dan and to Stacy who braved the freeway and got here on time, and to Amy who braved the children and got out of school and got here, and to Fran and Alan who are here upholding those chairs on the bima. It's a very, very high honor. Thank you to all of you for showing up here and in cyberspace. Thank you to Mark and to Brian, everybody that works in our security out there. Thank you to all of you who are preparing for tomorrow's festivities. Shabbat Shalom. Let's bless one another with that Birkat Kohanim. We can think of the high priests and their regalia. You can learn all about it tomorrow on Zoom at 9:30 with Mark Tannen. Put your arms around each other, or put your arms around yourself, even at home, as we invoke that priestly benediction from all those years ago. May God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you and be with you always and grant you peace. You can say Ken Yehi Ratzon in the middle. May it be God's will. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav alecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. I didn't know you were such a singer, Alan. Oh my gosh, you and Mark Reichert. God, we're going to need to make a choir again, Dan. Jeremy wants to sing. I think, we've got some potential here. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. All right, Adon Olam. Here, you guys want to sing it up here? Okay, page 625. Is that what we're singing? Ooh, Dan's got it going on. As we sing our praises out into the universe. No? Okay. Adon Olam, Asher Malah, V'terem kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'ez Nasa, V'chevso kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra. נלך שמעו נקרא, ואחרי תגלו הכל, לבדו